I'm
and
glad
we're
I-
live. Welcome back to Talkin Shift. As you guys might notice, we kicked Kyle out of the group. We voted him off the island. Sorry, I'm just kidding. We brought Reese on. This is Reese. If you guys have not seen Reese in the videos, I'm sure you have. This is Reese. He was new as of, what, 3-4 months ago?
March 10th, Texas 2K.
Still here, so I guess he's doing okay.
Yeah, he hasn't quit yet, which is great. We appreciate him being around. Let's go ahead and kick things off with where we've been.
Oh, yes. We've been to some pretty crazy places so far.
Some real fun places. The first one I can think of is how much fun we had in Memphis. We can't talk about a bunch of the racing we did because it's a bunch of street stuff, but we had a lot of fun in Memphis.
Yep.
Our buddy Parker put on a great show for us.
Oh, man.
Put on a barbecue he put like 50 cars in his front yard.
Yeah, there were cars in his backyard, too.
This is the first time I've ever been. You guys went last year. How did this compare to last year?
It was over the top. Last year was like a spectacle on its own, but this year there was more cars. He was grilling the whole time the first year, but this year it was catered in.
Professional barbecue pit. Parker put in so much effort that if he were to have done a track event, it would have been like up to par.
Oh yeah.
Like he had catered food, he had vendors, he had sponsors, he had giveaways.
Yeah,
there were thousands of dollars in giveaways.
He
from
had
big
awards.
sponsor names.
Yeah, he had awards and he had companies bring like
HP tuners,
a raffle.
Cams.
Yeah.
It's like they're pulling like people out, and it's all his buddies that are there. So all of his buddies are winning stuff. It's funny as hell. It's awesome.
Really fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, it was cool. There's so many different types of cars. It was amazing. Like, I feel like it wasn't just the Corvette guys or just the BMW guys. Like, there was a wide range of stuff. Link Continental with suicide doors, big wheel cars, Lamborghinis. I mean, you had muscle cars, you had imports. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, something for everybody for sure.
Wait, hold on. Can we talk about how he ripped his entire driveway out of his yard like weeks before? Poured an entirely new driveway that was bigger and better and a pathway to get back to his backyard. Also filled his pool in that was in the backyard so he could park cars back there.
I didn't know any. I knew
When
he
we
had
say-
a pool. I knew he had a
year.
pool because guys were like, "There was a pool here last year." I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, right there." I was like,
Filled it in to park cars for the show. When we say above and beyond, brother, he was like quite a bit out of the atmosphere. He did a lot.
That's pretty wild.
Shout out Parker Cannon.
Yes,
He did a good
Shout
job.
out Parker. All right, it's Parker, Memphis Parker, in I think all of our phones.
Good Time Charlie on Instagram.
In my phone, it's Parker Cookout King.
Cookout.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's his
hey,
contact name.
There you go.
But yes, on Instagram it is Good Time Charlie. Look him up.
Yeah, he actually just hopped back on the gram.
Yeah, he just started a podcast.
He's all over the socials now. Then we went to Streetcar Bragging Rights. That's the first time we've been there. The first time we've been to Rockingham.
A beautiful place. I love that track.
That track
I do too.
is gorgeous.
First-
And they're putting a lot of money into that thing. They tore up the entire track, I think. Is
It
that
looks
right?
like it. I can't believe we've
looked
never
pretty
been
fresh.
there until now.
And now they're redoing all the concrete stands. I don't even know how much concrete that is. That's a ridiculous amount of concrete.
That was some of the longest stands I've seen.
They
at a
kind of
track.
remind me of the Bandamere stands. You got
It's
a
like
lot
a-
of height advantage.
It's like a mini Bandamere. It is. It's like a full wall of stands almost all the way. It's probably like to the 1,000-foot, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Darlington in South Carolina, don't they also have stands that they're concrete and they go up on a hill? They're not, I don't think, as tall, but yeah, that track is cool. None of us had been there, and
No.
the owner is a racer. So he has the insight and kind of knows like what people want, what they need. And I like, one of my favorite things was all the different elevation changes, like the pits and the stands and the track. Everywhere's all over the place. There's a lot of cool photo
halfway
opportunities.
down. Yes, on the right side of the track, about half track, it's just like a beautiful wooded area with
the
all
pine
the pits
trees.
kind of mixed in. It makes for like the most scenic looking pits.
Best pit spot.
Yeah.
And good shade.
Yeah, the fact that they have pits it's like in the middle of a little forest. It's so cool. It's just a cool, like, we just drive through there when we have oil downs, which there were a couple. We drive through there to find cars during oil downs. It was just so pretty.
If I ever go to a track and there's like actual like buildings for bathrooms, I know it's a good track, and they had those there, and they were clean.
Can we talk about that top level of the tower?
Ooh, floor 3.
right.
The Saloon.
Yeah.
So the whole tower looks like a normal tower you'd see at a drag strip. Nothing that fancy about it. I went on the second floor. Nothing fancy about it.
There's no track.
If anything, it's kind of old in there. Whatever. And the guys were like, "Did you go to the third floor yet? That's VIP." I was like, "No, I haven't been up there yet." "You should go." I was like, "I'll get up there." They're like, you should go." Oh, like now. I was like, okay. So I go up there. As soon as you open the door, I was
Icy
like,
cold. I like
dude.
that.
I had rich friends growing up, a few of them. That's what their houses were. Like, that's what it was nice as hell up
Wood
there.
ceilings, wood floors,
Dude,
wood walls,
like
The
a
bathroom?
saloon.
fancy
They had a
tables.
bidet in the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Are you
What
serious?
other
Yeah,
track
dude.
you've seen that?
It was
at?
probably getting
Never.
abused so much. That's why they closed down the bathroom in there. People were like, "Did you hear there's a bidet up there?" I did not get a chance. Apparently, you got a chance to use the bidet. I did not. So that's
I did not either.
Yeah, I used that bathroom a few times. It was clean.
it
Nice
was clean.
bathroom.
It was clean.
Nice
yeah,
bathroom.
but as on top of the track being cool, Streetcar Bragging Rights, the event was cool. We had never been to it. This is like I think they started in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
Something
I
like
thought it was
that.
22.
they had
It's
3
fairly new.
years prior to this.
Okay,
'Cause
so
they
this was
had
the
the-
fourth event.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
The food.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
They catered in free meals
Okay,
for the media
real quick.
each day.
The whole
And VIP.
the
It
whole
did.
Woody's favorite part.
the whole reason
The
this
first
got
day.
pitched to us was Witty. Well, it's a good event. We've heard it's a good event, but Witty just kept saying, "Do you see what they get like media for food?" I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "Did you see though? It's like this, 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 and this." And I will say the food was probably some of the best food that we've had at a track.
That first
Yeah.
day,
Oh,
awesome, dude.
yeah. Oh, shout out to Nate who puts the event on.
Yep. Nick
He's
Frick.
running around with his head cut off literally the entire event, and he's putting on a great show the whole time because it's like everything is a little bit extra from like a regular event. It's stuff you wouldn't think about, and some events would do a little extra here or a little extra there. Nate kind of thinks of everything and does a little extra on just about every single part of the event.
Fireworks, flamethrowers, helicopters landing on the track, silver coins for qualifying, champagne bottles for qualifying
Parachute
first.
Did you
trooping,
see the roll
trophies.
racing trophy?
The roll
Oh,
racing trophy is
yeah,
like a
the-
Stanley Cup.
They added roll racing this year, which we sponsored,
Yep.
presented by
Mhm.
1320
Yep.
Video. And so first time they've had, I think they had 70 cars on the property for roll racing, and some pretty stacked cars. They had Kratos on the property, which
He did 205.
He did 206, I think. On a practice run, he did 206, but qualified at 205. So pretty good. I'm excited to see what that event does in later years for
Yeah,
roll racing.
For sure.
But drag racing for sure was locked in. That was
So many cars.
stick shift was my favorite by far.
Yeah.
And then you had a lot of upsets in stick. And then you had the
Streetcar bragging rights class was huge, but there's a lot of good stuff.
right
in
the
it.
shootout classes.
Yeah.
Where they
Yeah,
broke
the
it out into
shootout.
4. The 28, the extreme 28s class.
Oh, I like. Yeah, I hope to see more cars in the Extreme 28 class. I think there were 7 this year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but all 7, you're like, dang, that's a car right there. None of them were ducks. And I think what did it come down to? Like Brett Lasala and Mac Brosnan, they
Yep.
were in the
Yeah, not a bad final.
wild final. You guys are gonna have to go see how that turned out because it was
Crazy.
Yeah.
close.
And I thought the fact that they used blind qualifying was a pretty neat strategy.
And so, like, yeah, we have not been to many, if any, races that use blind qualifying. What that means, guys, is so for stick shift, for example, there's 50 cars on the property, and there's 32 slots between the two classes. Each class is 16. So if you know where other people are qualifying at, you can be like, all right, well, I want to be like top of the second class, which means I'll just kind of sandbag a little bit, and I'll try to qualify at the top of the second class. It was blind to everybody except for the driver that wanted to go get a slip for his specific pass. Every other driver had no idea what the other one ran unless they asked him and they were going to tell him. But the boards were not lit. Nobody else knew anything. And that made it pretty cool because nobody knew who was going to race who or who made it into what class until the driver's meeting.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. But moving on, let's see. So I'll just go over, I didn't go over this before, but go over a little stuff we're going to talk about on this podcast. Kyle normally does this, so I kind of spacing stuff out.
All right.
First thing we're going to go over, I'll go through the list here, is should 1320 build a project car? It's been something we've been asked for a while, but we'll get into that. We're going to debut a new segment on the podcast here where we show a few clips we've seen on the internet we want to talk about, a few clips that have been in our social media group chats we want to talk about, clips that you guys probably have seen or stuff that interests us. Go over some of that stuff, and then we'll go ahead and finish it out where we're going to be going and what we're excited to do for the next couple months. So that's what we're going to be going over the rest of the episode. So let's go back to should 1320 build a project car? Gentlemen,
Yes.
we would be the ones building it, so
100%.
should we do
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yes,
Why not?
I think that'd be fun.
I think my Mustang's still down in Florida, and I get the itch to work on stuff all the time. So That's gonna be a great little opportunity to
Perfect.
build something fun with the boys.
What type of racing should we be doing with this? What should we be building? Do you guys have any
Uh,
ideas off the top of your head?
So drag racing comes to mind right away.
That's an easy, obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, I like circuit track stuff, but that has nothing to do really with our.
We
Mains.
don't do a lot of.
Yeah, we don't do any of that. It'd just be fun.
What if we had a little team building experience taking a car to the Lemons race?
A
I don't-
24-hour Lemons,
Mm-hmm.
great
Um,
event, great event. I think that'd be fun. I think swapping out drivers every few hours would be a good time.
There's
But-
used to being up all night, so we could do that.
Hey, not wrong, not
Yeah.
wrong. What else? What type of car do you think we should build?
Drag and drive.
I do
Ooh.
like that idea. That is
We
something
were
I've
to-
been contemplating. I think it's unanimous.
Stinson
that-
likes drag and drive.
Yeah,
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
But what do you think we should build as? So if we do it, we'll go for drag and drive.
Ooh.
Let's say the
So-
people at home. Let's say we're going to build a drag and drive car.
'Kay.
It's one of my favorite type of events to cover. So
Yep.
it'd probably be fun to actually compete in one.
I feel like I've
so-
actually put some thought into this.
Oh,
I would like
Matt,
to see
please,
us build
please.
like a 1960s wagon vehicle of some sort, like
Okay.
something on the older side, something with a lot of room, something with a wagon, so we can just throw camera gear, suitcases, tools, what have you in it, and then all four of us can go down the road, compete at the track.
Every track, we have a different guy making the pass for that day.
Ooh,
We've
that's
actually
spicy.
done that in the past with Kyle's Cadillac. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to check that out on our YouTube. We took Kyle's CT5 Blackwing to, what was that, Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yep.
And all four of us, Kyle, myself, Whitty, Fred, all got to make passes in it. And just a fun little friendly competition to help kind of pass the event by. But I had a good time doing that.
Yeah, that's cool. Every day we each got to make one pass. Got to see who made the fastest pass down the track. That would be cool to have a wagon to do that with. Every day we kind of see like, oh, who's gonna make the fastest pass at Vandermeer this week.
What would you build?
Vandermeer's not a track anymore, but
What would you build?
what would I build? I like the wagon idea. Power plant wise, what is something that we would be comfortable working on in case we had to work on it?
Okay, so I'll say my idea here. So I have a couple of those Mercedes wagons.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have one of them. His name's Pablo.
Right.
and
We all know Pablo.
yeah, Pablo could use a little LS twin turbo action or single
Okay.
turbo action
I
with
like
a little
that.
4L80. Something we can get parts for. I
What
would
about
eat-
that Titan truck motor?
Yeah.
Ooh,
This
that's
LS
spicy.
is a little played out, and this is new.
That's
I mean,
spicy. So
stock block,
we're-
stock sleeve, 2,000 horsepower.
We'll back up a little bit.
And
At
that's our truck motor?
at Streetcar Bragging Rights, John Rogers with the IMS 240 brought out his car for the first time this year at a competition. And I was excited to see it because it's got something called a VK56 in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Nissan V8 that would have been you found in the Armadas and the Titans. Regular motor. I've never heard of anybody doing anything cool
Right.
with them, literally at all. And he said there's a market for those motors in New Zealand, which they didn't even get those motors in New Zealand. So guys are importing them to do stuff with them. And they're doing like boat motors and like uphill. They're doing off-road stuff. Nobody does drag racing with this motor. So I don't know when John saw a video or whatever, but he looked into it and he's like, oh, I could make this into a drag motor. So they got one. Apparently it's got really big head studs. It's got 6-bolt main out of the
Mhm.
factory.
Yeah.
The crank is huge on it and it can take all the power. And he says it's basically just it's a stock block,
Stock sleeve too.
stock sleeve, and I think he just said it's rod and pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Stock
on
crank,
the
stock
dyno,
head.
yeah, on the dyno, it made 1,966 horsepower.
That's insane.
1996, I believe. One of the two.
I think it was 1966.
Was it?
Yeah, 1966. But
Near 2000.
that's on the dyno. He can even run more power than that. That wasn't even all of it.
Yeah.
He claims it's still got room to go.
Yeah, and so what we're looking at is a 5.6 liter V8, which is a dual overhead cam engine, and it's basically you're getting an engine that's 5.6 liters for the price of an LS, but it's dual overhead cam, so then performs like a Coyote. This might be the new hack right here. This might be the new engine people are looking
He
at.
said he picked that motor up for $300.
That's what I'm saying. It's the LS price. It's that 5.3
Mhm.
price, but
Okay.
you get that performance.
So
out
we're
of it.
going to the junkyard after this.
Yep.
We have our engine.
Okay,
So
we
we've
have our
got-
engine.
We need to, okay, let's buy 10 of them, sell half of them when we drop our video on that car.
Okay.
And then we'll make our money back right there and we can dump all the money
Smart.
into it. Hey, I'm thinking.
What
I'm
about the
thinking-
transmission? What are we going to go with?
Oh, I
Uh,
completely forgot what car we talked about. I was so
We're doing a
excited about that
wagon-
motor for a second.
A
What did
wagon
John
with
have
that
in his?
motor.
for trans? Do you remember what he had for a trans in that? It was like a TH400.
No. Oh, you're talking about the IDS car?
It's stick car.
Yeah. It was
That's
stick
a
car.
stick car.
Oh, man.
I think it was
I'm
like-
way off.
We would probably be doing.
GF5R, I think is what it was.
That sounds
the
right.
Clutchless.
Yeah.
Okay. What we would probably do is something nice and dependable, like a 4L80 or something like that.
That's kind of what I'm leaning into as well.
Yeah.
Is everyone here pretty comfortable in stick driving? I would
Yeah,
take.
but
Yeah, but I've never done it racing down the drag strip.
I would
I can
rather
drive
have an
around
auto
town.
for this type of venture.
I ain't never
Yeah.
banged through all 6 gears before.
I think we could very easily blow a clutch or two up on a drag and drive with 4 different people.
And when
driving
we're
the
also
car.
responsible
Yeah.
for covering the event, we can't be blowing the car into pieces.
We'll be
For
covering
sure.
ourselves.
We'd be covering ourselves in that situation. It would be
Uh-huh.
like if we went to a drag and drive with a car and all of us were doing it, it would be like we would be covering ourselves doing the event.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think
A little more realistic.
a little more realistic. But okay, so VK56, 4L80, Ford 9-inch in the rear, and we just got to find. Are we all in agreement we want a wagon?
I think all
Yeah.
three of
I
us are
think
wagon.
wagon's
I don't know about
amazing
him,
idea.
but
Are you a wagon guy?
I love wagons, dude.
Well,
Oh,
you got
perfect.
to buy. Well, you and Kyle now need to buy one because all 3 of us have wagons.
I don't
now
think
you
it would
guys
take too much pushing to get Kyle to buy a CT SV wagon. He kind of liked that giveaway car.
See, and now you just got to get a what I don't know, like a Taurus. What Ford's?
Oh, man.
Yeah, don't
if
do
we're
that.
going wagon, even
You can get a
like the-
Falcon, bro. Go get an old Falcon wagon.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, those are sick. Actually, we should get. I like that idea for the car. I love those. Look at those.
Which one?
An old Falcon wagon, Ford
okay.
Falcon, like 63.
Okay. That'd be a Ford Falcon wagon with a VK. Anything with a VK56.
That would be unique. I swear, if I see anybody roll up to the track with this combo, we're throwing hands.
On site. On site, dude. He's a scrappy fighter. You better take his word for it. You don't want those hands.
Do we think
Them
that,
witty whips.
do we think an old school wagon with that platform would stand out to people?
Yeah.
I do.
Because
gotta
the
find
way
some-
the way internet is these days and YouTube, you have to build the most ridiculous thing in the world. to
It is
get
hard to
any
please
attention.
people.
It
That's for sure.
really
It is. The bar's just so high.
It would definitely be more pleasing than throwing a twin turbo LS in something common. I don't know how much, but I think it would be. I think people would appreciate the.
I'm gonna 1,000% agree. Yeah, if
Okay.
we were to do like let's just build like a Fox body, so we get like a Zephyr wagon. Even if we wanted a Zephyr wagon with a LS, it's like, well, anybody could go buy parts for that. Like,
yeah, I
anybody
don't
could
think
build that.
people would want to watch that.
All right, we've decided our car, guys. We'll
Okay.
tell Kyle about this later.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
be totally on board with this.
Oh, this was efficient.
This what? That's
Yeah.
Kyle. You need to skip days sometimes more often. We got this whole decided. We just spent a lot of money.
A lot
All
of
of
Kyle's money.
So old school wagon. We'll decide on later. Maybe a Falcon.
Okay.
Something clean.
Whatever it is, we got to find something on Facebook that's got some personality to it.
Oh yeah,
You know, those marketplace finds, you're like, man, and then take it on a drag and drive.
nice. So find something on Marketplace. Old school wagon. VK56 4L80 Ford 9-inch, and we go drag and drive.
What about aspiration?
Win a class.
Boosted.
I don't know.
Wait,
No,
you say
aspiration?
aspiration?
Yeah, like what? Like you guys turbo?
turbo.
Or?
I like
Definitely
turbo
turbo.
sounds, so that's yeah.
It works for John. I think it'll work for us.
Everybody likes turbo sounds.
Single or
Yeah.
twin turbo. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah, maybe we go with Apex. So since they don't have that little bolt in the middle, we get more space. Is there like class restrictions for
I
turbo
think
size?
I think that's for the guys that are like looking for that like last little bit.
Oh, we're not
That
gonna
might
break
be
into
out of
a
We're
order.
looking for just the car to go A to B
You're
and
f-
not blow
We're
that's
looking
up.
at
fair.
the Wu-Tang Whirly Boys, what we're looking
It'd
for.
be really cool if we could get the car into the 850 class and then we were like super competitive. That's like the best class at Drag and Drive.
It takes some money to build an 850 car, though.
Let's not get
That
too
might
far
be a little
ahead.
too far.
$300 for a block, you can just take 2,000 horsepower.
If it's a wagon, we can probably just throw an extra motor in the back.
Can we borrow your?
Well, we're gonna have a
roof box?
trailer for the
We're gonna
tools.
have a lot of luggage.
The back of the wagon's for our camera equipment, and then we'll have a little single axle trailer for the tools and
I think
extra
that
tires.
this
Yeah.
could
Whatever.
This could be like a.
It's
two-
a truck motor too, so it would pull a trailer just fine, wouldn't it?
Dude, we have this figured out.
I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got it, guys. I think we're all figured out.
All right. well,
Stinson, do you agree?
Yeah, so sick week 2026. This will just be our project over the
Sick
winter.
week. So that's in February.
2026.
It's next year.
This is not happening in half a year.
Oh yeah, dude, we're gonna do this between November and February.
All right, guys. So we no videos from us between November and
no,
February.
we'll have videos covering the build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little build series in
Yeah,
the drag and
bro.
drive car.
Come on, Fred.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. We're just not. We're gonna live here. We're gonna be given pizza once a day if we complete a task.
You just bring your hammock in. We can sleep in the shelves for the merch.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a big sleepover with
I have a hammock.
race cars. I
Reese
have a
will.
rooftop tent. I'll just move in the parking lot.
You see, we already got to figure.
Like I
it
said,
out.
we have everything figured out.
Do you
Okay.
guys think, sorry, realistically speaking, maybe not with that motor or that combination, but do you think it could be possible to put a drag and drive car together by sick week next year?
If we were putting, depending on how custom we were doing, that's a good point.
Like LS, you can buy the kits to bolt it in, no welding.
Right. If we were just trying to do something just to go racing, we could definitely do it by then. I'm thinking because we could do, like I said, we could do if we still wanted a wagon, we could get like a Fairmont wagon.
I like that.
And any LS kit that fixed in a Fox body, that's a Fox body, and we could do that. We could definitely go racing by sick week.
We could.
It just wouldn't be the most unique or cool vehicle.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the shock value or entertainment value. Or
But maybe we could just get our feet wet with that and then move forward and maybe build that car throughout the year and bring it out in 2027. All right, we just built 2 cars in 2 years. Thanks, Kyle, for
Signing the check.
We all got cut. You got what's our limits on our company cards? We'll start swiping. Don't worry about it, Kyle. We got all the parts.
We got a year to build it out, so we just max it out every month.
Yeah,
We'll get it day
just
by day.
awesome. Just take a picture of your receipts. Make sure you guys take pictures.
Upload
Motion
that.
Race Works.
All right, we're decided. Kyle, thanks for letting us swipe all the money away that we'll make more money later. We just need these car parts now so we can get the cars rolling, All right, now that that's decided, first of all, Reese, you are the new guy here. You've been working here for 4 months. It's a blur.
March.
Since TX2K.
It's
Yeah,
a
just
blur.
since
March.
It's a blur at this
It
point.
feels like it's been a year.
Let's talk about that. Your first event was TX2K, and that's quite the event for it to be your first. That was my first event too, but it was
Most insane week of my life.
yeah. So how has working for 1320 been? What have you enjoyed? What has sucked? And you can be honest. It's fine. Kyle's not here. Go for it.
Well, I mean, really, it's a labor of love. I mean, when we're out at a track, especially Texas 2K, we're working all day at the track, maybe a power nap, all day on the streets. It's like you don't have time to think. You're just documenting every single cool thing happening around you, and it's like at that point, it starts just that week feels like one continuous run. Like I think we all can say we didn't know what day it was 3 days in because everything just kind of feels like one fluid motion of time.
It's very common.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great example. That one's totally a marathon start to finish. Like you definitely hit the ground running and you finish tired but still running.
Yeah, it's for me. It's I have no problem staying awake for that. It's like there's so much stimulus. There's so much stuff to see. So many badass cars there. I don't have a problem staying awake. It's just when there's downtime, that's I'm like, oh, I'm
100%.
struggling here.
Mm-hmm.
And then on like the day after I get home, I probably sleep for 12 hours straight without even trying. I normally can't sleep for more than 8. It's just 12 hours straight because your body would just lack of sleep for 7 days straight.
Gotta recover.
Like 18 to 20 hour days every day for a week is what we do at 2K.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize that it's all day. If you see us by day 5, we're zombies at that point. But it's so much fun. We get to see so much cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
If you just go to that one event and saw everything from our perspective and everything we get to see, you wouldn't have to go to like another event all year from how much content you would just take in.
And so that was my first time ever being at Texas 2K and Texas Motorplex, which is a really cool facility. Growing up, watching it, seeing you guys do what you do as I've been growing up, and then being on the other side of a piece of the puzzle helping produce that content is so much. It's still like a surreal thing. I still have like a pinch me kind of thing that I'm out here helping create that stuff, but it's an amazing experience. I love doing that.
I would ask you what your favorite part of 2K was, but I think it was the street racing.
100%.
Yeah, you were just like walking around so happy, talking to all the drivers and everything. I was like, he's just having a ball right now.
You got in so many different cars too.
Yeah, that was a stacked roster right there. Stacked roster.
I remember you mentioning talking about all the cars.
And it's like, even though like, horsepower for horsepower, the fastest car I was in was that R8, that twin turbo R8, but it's still, they're so well engineered that I didn't even feel like the fastest car I was in, just because it's so planted, so smooth. You don't even really feel shifts.
It's not violent.
No.
Yeah,
it's
it's like a
just so-
6-speed Mustang or some kind of rear-wheel drive car.
If you're in like a Corvette with big fatty tires on it,
Yeah.
it makes like 1,500 in a
feel
stick
it.
shift car. You're like, this was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing that like 60 to 200, which I'm probably sure what you guys were doing like a 60 to 200 pull, and it takes 4 seconds. It's just, you get to experience craziness for 4 seconds, and the car just it just works every time. But it's crazy. Like I don't know if he had any draggy in the car, but knowing what like a 60 to 130 time is, when you see guys talk about their times online, you're like, oh, 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, it's a normal car. And then you're like, oh, I did like a 2.5 in that car on the street. And people will be like, you did a what? They'll be like, there's no way. All right. 2K, you got used to no sleep.
Then Yellow Belly.
Yellow Belly, you got used to no sleep.
You watch the sunrise come up.
I feel bad that we've given you
I wasn't
events with
there.
0 sleep, but this is how our weeks normally
What
go.
was after Yellow Belly?
Uh,
Was that
went to Memphis?
Memphis was after Yellow
And then
Belly.
we were out on the streets, so really no sleep. And then streetcar bragging rights were out till 4 a.m.
We
No
got to
sleep.
sleep in Memphis.
In Memphis, we did.
You guys did. Reese and I did not.
Oh.
We flew home.
Memphis felt more just like a party.
Yeah, Memphis
know,
was
it's
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Memphis is a good time.
I loved Memphis.
I'd say the most recent one was Streetcar Bragging Rights, where he got to witness no sleep.
Oh yeah,
That was rough. That was a great event. Solid track, solid cars, solid promoter, and the organization. Everything was badass. Just some bad luck with the oil downs,
Oh,
which
for
can happen
sure.
at any event.
it can.
And it's like, how do you can't plan for that? You really think that anybody's sitting there like, all right, guys, so I think we're going to have 30 oil downs today, so let's let everybody know.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
There's 500 cars on the property that weekend registered to race. Then some of them are going to blow up. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can't. Even
Everything
if
that could have been done that was a good event.
Yeah.
I
I don't
just
know
hope
if
it has less mess ups.
I don't know if there's a belly pan or diaper requirement at that track or at that race, but with
Probably
500
could.
cars, definitely a good time to add it if it's not there.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
What was your favorite event so far, Reese? If you take away the street stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, every event is kind of its own animal. I mean, this year so far has already been like every single thing is a new experience for me. It's like it hits its own spot.
Some wide variety so far.
100%.
And we're gonna hit more different events. Like we got
We got King of the South coming up. We got War in the Woods in Alaska.
I'm just thinking about different types
sorts
of
of
events
shit.
that like tractor pull.
Yeah.
We're going to a
Oh,
tractor
yeah.
pull in
Dragon
August.
Pull.
And that's, I don't know if you've been to one of those or seen crazy stuff like that. That's just even more crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for us, we're kind of tainted with like, we're going to these races. We've seen these cars before.
I don't know.
We don't even
It's
really.
still fresh.
No, it is. But I'm saying when we go to like TX2K, we see all this crazy stuff. We're used to seeing, we're friends with a lot of those racers, a lot of
Yeah.
those teams. Reese just gets to experience this with like standing next to us. Like,
It feels
This
like
is-
I hit the ground running full speed is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it feels like. There's a lot of things between, even though my primary like onboarding focus is the video, I am also very passionate about photo and the kind of story coverage that we do. So I'm like splitting my load both ways to try to do the best to document the races around us and the cool stories that they have to share.
Yeah, we'll be covering an event, and let's say there's 6 classes. We're covering 3 of those. When we're not covering the other 3, Reese out in the pits getting photos, running around, and just helping with creating content. And that just shows that, really passionate about it. It's cool to like just see it go out and kill it and want to keep creating. And I don't know, I think you're a good hire for sure. I think honestly, it's easy to keep the excitement going. Cause while we've been to like TX2K a lot and some other events, like Fred just said, I mean, there's multiple events just in this first part of the year that we've been to that are new for us. And I think that's why we still do this and why we still have so much fun. It's like every weekend, you really don't know what you're going to. There's only a couple events that you're like, for sure. Even TX2K, you go to that, there's still some wonder there. Like you still don't know what's
Mhm.
exactly going to show up. And
And also, even though this whole year is filled of new experiences for me, a race that I've already been doing on my own the last few years, just attending as a spectator with my dad and friends, it's like our little annual trip is going to World Cup finals. So now this year, to be on the creating side of responsible for showing the people at home what
Yeah.
I've enjoyed so much is going to be a crazy experience. I'm still like so excited to go to that race.
that's the best
the
drag race of the
atmosphere
year.
and energy out there.
one of our
No.
favorite events all year. Shout out to Jason Miller. He puts on one of the best well-run drag races
Oh, easily.
that we go to all year, and it's at the very end of the year. And it's
Everything about it.
the track's amazing. The weather's the air is there for the racers. Everything is thought out as far as the event goes. This is like the 26th year of doing it, so obviously it's figured out and everything's great. But yeah, I would be excited for you too. That's the event that's really wild to be on the other side of the wall and to get that close. some of those cars you really can't breathe next to. You can't see. You start crying and you can't breathe when they're up there. It's a wild experience.
The starlets are so rowdy.
Dude, those rotary cars just make you cry. They're
Can't
so
breathe,
beautiful.
can't
They're
see.
like 2,500 pounds,
Yeah.
loaded, 96-inch wheelbase. Last year, I was standing at the trap of the quarter mile, and as he's coming through the trap, you still see air bouncing from the front wheels a quarter mile down the track. There's nothing quite like it.
And they just keep that thing floored the whole
Terrifying.
time.
Those
It's
guys got balls of steel.
just wild. Just wild, some of those cars. All right, let's go ahead and jump into a new segment that we're going to do, which is we watch a few videos from the internets that we saw that we either think a lot of you guys would see as well, or we want to talk about, or something we are excited about. So let's go ahead and kick off the first one. What do we got?
Ooh.
I don't know if I've seen this. I saw a quick clip of it. I don't know.
I
if
heard
this
about
one
this. I haven't
very-
seen the video yet.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Oh,
God. Fire is always the worst part.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
so scary.
I did not know it was on fire.
Hang on. So back up. This was
Kayla Morton, I think.
this is
Yeah.
okay. So this is Kayla Morton in the left lane
Jesus.
here. This is at one of the street
The Outlaws.
the Outlaws event. She just kicked
It looked like
straight
it got out of the
sideways.
wall on the right-hand side and kicked
Oh
left.
my god.
It looked like right at like the 100-foot. It just kicked sideways and went straight towards the wall.
Wonder if a fuel line came off, and that's why the fire and the
Well,
instant loss of traction.
something either broke in the suspension or a bunch of fluid went down right in front of the rear tire.
We've seen a lot of wrecks, but whenever there's fire, that's when it's just
scariest
extra
thing.
scary.
Scariest thing in the world is fire because
Oh, yeah.
when they're sitting there and the car's on fire, every second feels like it's 10 minutes, and all you want is that person to get out of the car. Because even if they're still alive and the car's burning and they're unconscious, just like there's
Glad
nothing
she's
that you can't
okay.
do anything.
Right.
Luckily, she had all the right safety equipment and everything on, and I think she turned out okay. But damn, that's crazy.
I wonder what the cause of the wreck was. But yeah, so the door's open there. You can see her flapping the door open. She got out of the car. That is wild.
She was in there for a while.
It kind of looks
It
like
seemed
it.
like it.
She could have been knocked out and then woke up. I'm not sure. But
She's still in it right now?
she's been racing for 2 decades.
No,
She's been racing forever. So for her to take a while to get out of a car is kind of concerning. Yeah, that's the scariest thing on the planet is when you're at a wreck, you're at a track. When a wreck happens, normally it's like, okay, he's going to get out. Nine times out of 9, normally, like honestly, guys get out of the car with unassisted. When there's a fire, all of a sudden, every second, like I said, takes 10 minutes. It's like, get out of the car, just open the door. Just you're looking down track with a camera on it, and you just want them to be okay, get out of the car. Sometimes those are pretty scary,
Oh yeah.
real scary.
I can think of so many of those that I've seen where like you said, the clock like ticks away so fast, but in the moment it just feels so slow.
Stevie Fast, when he wrecked and he slid on his roof.
That video is like ingrained in my head. Like I got chills watching that video.
It took him so long to get out of the car. And once he did, it was funny because the lady was running up to him and he pushed her out of the way and she fell on the ground. But like I remember sitting there like, get out of the car. Just open the door. Get out. Get out. And it only took him like 15 seconds or so, but that was a wild
The one
amount
in
of
my
time.
head is with Dirty 30 and Matt's
That's
at
what
the
I was
end.
gonna say
and you
too.
have and matched voice just in my
I'm
head.
terrified, dude.
Oh my
and like
God.
you watch the video and it maybe took
Took
him
my
like
s-
5 seconds to get out of the car,
Oof.
but for me
Felt like
that felt like a
fucking
minute.
ever.
I'm standing there and I think the camera moves and that was me taking a step to like go over and do something. 'Cause luckily he came out of that car. I was really scared.
That was really scary. This next video I've seen on reshared, I don't know how many pages over the last week. Every
Oh.
time I open social media, this video's on a
Yeah,
new page.
I haven't
looks
seen
like
this one
a
yet.
Chevy Opala from the quarter panel.
What we got here? Oh my.
Yeah, Matt, that's not supposed to do that.
That is definitely not supposed to do that.
Pop the bead right off of it. So this guy's doing a burnout and he goes to do.
I think he's
That's
launching.
insane that the car is still
Is he
just
launching or is this
Yeah,
a
no,
burnout?
he's launching.
That's slow-mo launch.
He's trying to
okay.
do it.
Okay, so
Ooh,
as soon as
yeah.
that happens, so it's a bead lock.
Still not a
So
full rotation.
That's not
Still
that's not like some guy that
finally.
just drilled a few screws in the barrel of the rim. That's like a real
Uh-huh.
weld,
That's a legit
like
bead
Delta drag. I mean, what? That's like a
a
20
weld
plus
tire.
bolt ring.
The only
And
thing, the only thing I'm thinking here is either there's just so much traction on that track for that slick that it squatted so much and it just ripped both sides, or it's not a double bead locked wheel. Because sometimes they'll have beads on both sides, sometimes it's just the outside.
Mm.
But for it to just tear the bead like that,
I think it ripped the tire
Can't
or
say
just
I've-
pulled out of the.
Oh, it definitely would have. Oh, I don't know.
I
It
can't say I've
just
ever
there
seen
made
that
a
in
full
person.
rotation. That's wild.
I bet his 60
Yeah,
foot
Matt, I
was
don't think I've
crazy
seen that.
slow.
I've never
person
seen
either.
that.
Well, he hit 60 foot in the first foot
Yeah.
of track.
The data of the car is probably
Yeah.
I've seen tires do that, but not on a bead. I've never seen a bead lock
No.
rip like that. I've seen tires rotate inside the wheel because
Hmm.
they had too much power and needed a bead lock, but I've never seen a bead lock do that. It's almost like there was, I don't know, like some sort of oil or something on the inside to make it slip on the bead like that. Weird. I wonder where that was too. That's in a. Looks like it's it definitely looks like an Opala.
That's what I was thinking too.
And we know Opala's from Brazil. We went there in 2019, but it doesn't look like the track we went to.
It doesn't look like any track I've seen in the States.
That's got to be somewhere else.
Like A&.
If it was Brazil, there'd be Fuel Tech banners all over the place. 'cause
Oh, for sure.
That's where they're from. All right. Kind of neat. I've not seen a beadlock do that before.
Just when you think you've seen it all, something else surfaces, and you're like,
We've been doing this a while.
What we got here?
All right. This is one I wanted to talk about. This is my buddy Zach.
Okay.
Zach has a Harlequin Golf just like I do. He has driven that thing in other cars across the country a bunch of different times, with a bunch of different setups. And the man never puts any street miles on his car for testing. For some reason, he just builds a car and starts driving it. This is his newest creation. This is I believe, sand and gravel delivery truck from a place he grew up in Connecticut. He found the cab and decided to turn it into a functioning vehicle again. He built the chassis for it himself.
Turbo diesel?
It is
That
a
thing's pretty cool.
OM606 Mercedes-Benz turbo diesel.
Okay.
That sounds right up your alley.
It's pretty sick, honestly. He got the Mercedes-Benz steering wheel in it as well. Seats, I believe, as well. So they're kind of comfy, even though there's no suspension on it. And what you see, that is not bag. That is a static build.
Ooh,
So
wait.
the-
I thought for sure it was immediately like, yeah, bags.
No, that is a static build. He's built it over the past few years. And the coolest thing about it is, so like I said, he likes to drive his stuff across country. He is currently right now driving that thing on Route 66. He started in Connecticut, drove it to Chicago, and he's, I think, in St. Louis or that area right now. And he's with his buddy Kevin. Kevin goes on all of his adventures with him. As soon as they get to LA, I think they're going up the PCH, and they're going to go back to Connecticut. So they're doing like 4,000 or 5,000 miles in that thing. It has zero creature comforts.
Brother, my back hurts for him.
Dude, it's like I said, zero creature comforts. It is static. It's an inch and a half off the ground. It is.
What a cool story, though. That
That
truck
is-
had been sitting in a concrete lot in his hometown
So
forever.
no.
and he
So here's the
saved it.
thing: the truck itself, the cab, it was used at that concrete place in Connecticut. At
Mhm.
some point in time, the truck was sold, and he found the cab, I think, on Marketplace in Tennessee.
Oh.
So Connecticut to Tennessee, he found the cab for sale. He bought it, brought it back to Connecticut,
Mm.
built it, and then went to the gravel lot and took pictures of his truck.
Oh, okay. So he
At
brought
the
it
gravel
home.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
so fun.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
And then did all this, built it. He has a kid on the way, and he did the gender reveal with it.
So this is the gravel pit?
No, I think
Oh.
he just did video of it right
Okay.
here. But yeah, what you see is what you get. There's no, I don't think heat, air conditioning, probably no radio. I would assume it has lights and ignition.
when he hits
So-
the open road untested.
Literally, he made it like I think a couple hours and then broke one of the front shock mounts. 0 street miles on this thing. He might have driven it 10 miles. But he has made it so far halfway across the country to St. Louis.
He's down for an adventure. Golly.
That's ambitious.
Yeah,
Like,
the one thing I
props.
can think of is he embodies like that Tom Bailey not take the car. That is Overcrest, which is he actually is in Overcrest with me. But it's for the fucking adventure is Tom
Oh.
Bailey's quote. Why would you do that? For the fucking adventure. And that's exactly why he builds cars and does stuff like this. So
Yeah.
hopefully he makes it all the way back, and he might be driving through Omaha.
Ooh,
which is- yeah,
do I
right.
smell a podcast?
Yeah, we'll see if he
Okay.
makes it. So far, he's broke. I think in every state he's driven through. So
Tom Bailey, really quick, just did the fastest full-bodied car pass ever in NHRA history at 200.
570 something.
Yeah, 263 miles an hour.
Yeah, 573. I think it was.
That's nuts.
Now I don't think that was. It's not during competition. It's in a drag and drive, but that's still a street car.
yeah,
it
he
was like
drives
during
that
an
thing in
NHRA.
drag and
I
drives.
think that's now the new street car record. I think Lutz had it forever.
Okay.
which is cool. Anyway, yeah, this is really cool. So you guys don't follow Zach yet? Check him out on Instagram. We'll pop the.
Did you mention how many total miles he's
Yeah, he
supposed
did.
to be doing? Oh, okay.
I think it's like 4,000 or 5,000
Yeah.
total, and if he makes it, and like I said, the thing had maybe 10 miles on it before he left.
Ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
I too like to live dangerously.
Dude, this guy likes to live dangerously with no creature comforts. The first time Kevin, his buddy Kevin, like I said, goes to all these cross country trips with him. He lives in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
He flew in the day before they left and sat in the truck for the first time the day before he left. And he's like, no, where do my knees go? Kevin's a tall guy. It is a grain truck or a gravel truck, so
Right.
the cab should be pretty big. But they're like sleeping in this thing in some spots.
Oh,
Not
gosh.
comfy, and the chairs don't have recline. It's yeah. I wish them well, but at this point in time when this podcast comes out, I hope they're back home and they're good.
Look at the Haboob.
Is that a Haboo? Well, let's go talk about this NHRA dust storm, aka Haboob, that happened. Was it really happening that close to the track while they were racing?
They ended up having to cancel the whole event over it.
Yeah,
Holy
these photos
shit.
are from Mark Aurelius. I think that's how you say his name. He's the greatest action sports photographer on the planet. But look at this. This is nuts. These are people I think either leaving or
Holy
I would be leaving if I saw
That's
that coming.
crazy. I've never seen that kind of thing in person, really. I mean, we saw one in
Holy
Vegas, but not
moly.
that thick.
No, that actually shut down that race too.
Yeah.
This was in Chicago? Michigan? Where was this?
Where was this track? Here, zoom out and look at the
There's,
caption.
I don't know. I
Route
feel like that's
66 Raceway.
Yeah, that's right out. That's in Joliet.
Okay. Weird. A dust storm in Illinois.
I would have never guessed.
So the closest thing we've had to that was that Haboob and I think Streetcar Bragging Rights. Was that the event? Or
Uh,
not Streetcar Bragging Rights.
No. Streetcar Super Nationals.
Super
in
Nationals.
Yeah, in
Vegas.
Vegas.
And was that where we had the Haboob?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It was.
I had never even heard of that word in my life until all the guys said, yeah, we got a Haboob coming in. I was like, can you explain that?
What the heck is
Or
that?
What
A
is
monster or
this? What is this
something?
natural?
A dust
Exactly. What is this natural occurring thing I've never heard of? Apparently, it's a dust storm that's just really bad. So the ones that you see in the movie, this one looks more ridiculous. This one literally looks like that scene from Mummy. I feel like the face
Oh.
from the mummy's gonna stick out and just like eat a race car.
So this is first person POV of Clay
Who's this,
Milligan
Clay-
going
Clay
down
Milligan?
track. Yeah.
we love Clay. If you guys
Great guy.
if you guys don't have a favorite driver for NHRA anything because you don't follow
You
it,
probably do, and it's probably Clay.
it's Clay. So if you ever met Clay, it's Clay. Clay
And
is
this full
the
video you can find on Clay Milligan's YouTube.
Dang, this is crazy to see. Honestly, even without the Haboob, it's kind of cool to see inside of a Top Fuel.
It looks like almost post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that color.
I wonder at what point they were like, all right, let's go ahead and close it. Let's go ahead and stop running cars.
Yeah, look how close it is.
It looks like he's running right towards the damn thing.
He literally is. Like, that's freaking insane.
Dang. I'm sure they closed it down shortly after this.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I can think of is there. And then over in Qatar, it takes no wind over there to close down the track because
Oh,
there's
yeah,
so
it's all
much sand everywhere. So there was one day we were there and they were talking, yeah, we might not race tomorrow. And Carl like, oh, why? It's a bad storm coming through. All right. How bad we talk is like anything over like literally 10 miles an hour, they would close the track because the sand would get on the track and it was just like skating ring the whole
There's
time.
no grass to keep it in place.
Yeah,
so
there's
it's
nothing
just-
there. So over in Qatar, if it was anything over like 10 or 12 miles an hour, well, they would just close the track. I was like, really? So we do
It's a normal day over here.
or Kyle and I had
Yeah.
a nice little day, I think in Doha that day because it was like it's kind of breezy, but we're from Nebraska, so it's like we're used to 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it's not that
10 or
bad.
12 mile an hour is where I max out my kayak fishing adventures on Milford Lake down in Kansas. Over 10 or 12, and the waves are just getting a little too big to make
Yeah,
it
a little
relaxing.
dangerous.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
little
some white caps
dangerous.
are pretty scary.
Yeah, dude, on this big lake.
Them rogue waves.
All right, on Woody's next fishing adventure.
Yeah.
What's this thing? What do we got?
Looks like a BMW.
Yeah. So what happens in this is the guy takes his seatbelt off, hoists himself up on the seat. They floor it, and the G force is enough to keep him in place.
Bimmer power, baby.
Let's see this thing.
It's German engineering.
Hell yeah, the ultimate driving machine.
So he's just kind of.
Dang.
Oh,
Isn't that
Oh,
insane?
wow.
All right.
So I think all of us have probably felt this phenomenon,
So
if you
you,
will, because we've all raced in twin turbo Lamborghinis.
Yeah, let's talk to the expert on this one.
Oh,
Reese, do you
yeah.
think? You go ahead.
Well, when we were racing, I did not try climbing on their seat, but maybe next time.
I was gonna say, like, you probably could have. So we've done something. We used to, or everybody used to do something like this: is put $100 bill on the dash.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, like, you give it a hit, and the passenger has to like reach out and get it. This is a little more extreme. I feel like there's more G forces going on with something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, yeah, how many cars can we do this in?
Isn't that nuts?
Probably do need to buy the turbo model at least for that to work.
I would say so. Yeah.
That looks like an M5, yeah?
So we'll put this on the list of videos we're gonna have to make with this drag and drive wagon.
Okay.
Right in.
So as long as we have a list,
We
of
could do it with 3 guys in the car. All
I
3
like
of us
that.
could be
There we
glued to
go.
the
See,
seat.
as
That'd
long
be
as we have a
cool.
list of things, I think Kyle's on board with this already.
Yeah, it basically will pay for itself, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be
for
easy.
sure. No brainer.
Oh, it should work.
Oh, and just go back to it for this drag and drive wagon. I will not give up. I will die on this hill. It has to have a rear facing third row, and it has to be usable.
Okay.
So we need to get a Mercedes.
So hear me out. I've never
No,
had
no.
I've never had a vehicle with a rear facing third row, but does that fold down?
Yeah.
flat.
Okay. So we'll be able to use that for
The Ford
For
Falcons
storage.
have those?
Okay, good.
No, but I'm saying for like when it gets to race car level, so we're really building like a 8-second Ford or Falcon. I want rear facing seats with like a 5-6 point harnesses in them.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, like
But
some
all right,
Kirkus
here's my
seats. Yeah.
rebuttal.
Yeah.
So
You
you
have
feel
to come up
G-force
with
in
a
the whole opposite
Well,
direction.
at that point, we put different
just-
tires on it and go out there and do some burnout
like
comps
that.
with
Okay.
people in the back seat looking
Well, that'd
out the
feel
window.
wild. It's like the boomerang in Kansas City at Worlds of Fun. It goes this way and then it goes the other way, and so you're like being forced forward.
Yes, so they're gonna be like they're gonna have their legs like sticking out and be like this out the back, like
I'm gonna need you to come up with a list of vehicles that have that feature.
oh buddy, a bunch.
Okay.
Actually, fun fact for people at home, I'm a nerd about this stuff. You could get a rear-facing third row in a Mercedes through 2023.
Get out, really?
Yep, as soon as they changed the body style in 2024, they took it away from us.
What wagons other than Mercedes have them? Because that's the only ones I've seen them in.
My
Believe it or not, the early Tesla Model S's had an option third row.
Really?
You can't put them in the new ones. You can't like buy the seat and put it in afterwards. You had to order it from them, and it was only the early years they did it.
Hmm.
Tesla Model S, you could do it. Oh, and then a bunch of domestics like the Buicks and
The Ford Taurus wagon had that. I remember my buddy's mom.
Roadmasters and all that.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of the old ones would
Okay.
have that stuff. But yeah,
Cool.
what were we talking about there? I just jumped back to the.
I don't know.
We were talking about G-forces and cars, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
right. We need to
Yeah.
make our car do that.
Yeah. We just need to make it as cool and as fast as a BMW.
That.
Hell yeah.
That's what
That's your standard.
Hell yeah, really. The ultimate driving machine. Don't say that for nothing.
We could just build a wagon and put the M5 drivetrain in it.
That would be hard to work on.
I'm guessing that'll be
Inexpensive.
cheap too.
According to you, they don't break. So
Man, they
We-
don't break if you maintain them. And maintaining them is expensive. I
Well,
like the idea of the $300
gonna
block that
maintain
holds
that?
2,000 horsepower with stock sleeves.
okay,
I like that idea too.
We'll
I think
go-
we're stuck on that.
we'll go that route.
All
We'll
right.
go that route.
You know those are cool, but not that cool.
They have their place.
You take that back.
The Ford Falcon wagon with that new truck motor in it and making it fast with a I mean, that's like legitimately cool. Like cool.
I'm trying to think of something that to make it not cool. It really is.
Yeah.
honestly.
I can't come up with anything either.
We're going to do that. All right, Kyle, we're locked in. Like
Nobody steal that
I've
idea.
already ordered half the parts.
By the time he's
in
watching this, the
podcast.
money's been spent. so
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't even, we'll
We're
be
gonna-
good.
We're gonna have an engine in the front showroom here, and we're just gonna leave it there on a pallet.
Now we need to name
Cunt.
the car.
Cundy's not gonna know what it is. Kyle's not gonna know what it is. We're like, don't worry about it.
Well, if it's a
This is a-
Falcon, we got to call it Freebird.
We'll talk
Never
about
mind.
it.
I don't know. It's hold on. It's a Ford Falcon, so it does fly. It does fly. The bird. It's gonna fly
It's
because
an
it's
American
fast.
car.
It's free because it's the motor is a V8.
I'd like to have a brainstorm session before we just go ahead and commit to a name of a car.
All right. Well, why don't you name it then?
Brainstorm session later on.
All right, brainstorm session later.
What's the next viral video?
I think
That's it.
Oh, we're
All right, see you guys.
next segment.
That's all the internet there is.
that is not all the
we
internet.
have hit
there
the
is.
end of the internet.
Well, that is all. That's all from the segments that we had for today. About what is that, 4 or 5 videos? We'll keep doing that throughout the year for our team podcast, at least. Try to show you some good stuff and talk about. If you guys haven't seen these clips before, like I'm looking at the Opala one right now, let's give you a quick breakdown of what we think just happened. Basically,
Go ahead.
no, that's what we're
That's
doing
what we're
throughout the year.
Sorry.
Cool.
All right, finish things out. Where are we guys going next as far as events go? We got Hot Summer Nights coming up.
We sure do.
Which, if you guys didn't know, we mentioned in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
That is it's not a charity event.
It's not.
It's just our summer
just-
car show we started last year.
Mhm.
It's the second year for it. Same location as last year.
Right.
And it was a banging good time last year.
It was. It's a cool facility. They like us enough to have us back out there.
3
Yeah.
or 4 floor parking garage.
It's a 4-floor parking garage.
It's a
First
vibe.
floor is going to be VIP. New thing that we're adding this year is a light up car section.
Ooh.
And so once the sun gets low in the sky, it gets pretty dark down there. So it'll be pretty cool to watch cars light up and kind of hang out along that back wall is where I think we're going to put those. But
How many cars do we fit in
Ooh.
this thing?
well, I believe there's around 140 spots for VIP on the first floor. I want to say upstairs on the second floor is around 230. It's about the same for the third floor, and I think it's like about 150 for the first floor or the top floor.
like
so-
600-700 cars. I'm
Yep.
not good at math, but I just
Yep, I
somewhere
think that's
around there.
about
It's gonna be
right.
a party.
It is. It was a really good time the first 2 years. First spot actually we
Oh, I forgot that we did it 2 years ago. I just remember the spot we did it last year.
yeah
Same spot.
we filled that spot up in about 45 minutes.
I
And,
like the vibe of the parking garage quite a bit.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
too. I'm actually really surprised we were able to pull that off. Shout out to I can't think of the name of the group. Hold on, it'll come to me.
But
Run on
all
no
the
sleep.
vendors, all the people Matt worked
Lockwood
with.
Development.
There
Shout
you
out
go.
Lockwood Developments for having us out to that thing. It means a lot. So
Are we
Yeah.
going to have vendors or food trucks at this deal?
we are going to have food trucks. There will be about 5 of them, I believe. I have locked in right now.
Cool.
There will be vendors, local vendors from shops and various places around
Cool.
town. But first time we're doing that, so if you weren't planning on coming out, come out. We'll be doing it again next year. I can't guarantee it'll be in the same place.
It
but
starts, mid-afternoon, goes to the evening?
It does. It starts at 7 p.m. for spectators, and then it goes until about 11.
It's probably like the last year and 2 years ago, just the thing that made it so cool, it just felt like a car meet from 2013.
It did. It has
Like-
like the old school vibes.
Yeah,
But
it's just like you get to see all your car friends, and all your car friends that are now old enough to have families can actually plan to do car stuff that day. So all of our local car friends we never get to see come out. We get to have a good time. It's literally feels like 2013 all over again.
it's like a mini ice cream cruise without the racing is how I like to describe it.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good way to describe it there. And then after that, I believe you and Kyle are going off-roading.
Yeah, J-Rod from OKC puts on this event that he's calling King of the Off-Road. And basically what it is it's kind of like a drag and drive centered feel, I feel. There's 3 different off-road parks in Oklahoma that we're planning on going to in 3 different days. So you'll complete one and then you'll drive to the next one, do that park. And there's 3 different levels of trails you can take. There's a green one for people with like a stock Jeep that just want to come out and be part of it. There's a yellow one, it's a little more challenging, and then a red one. And I think the way he described it was like for vehicles on 40-inch tires and like fully done up that are
What
gonna.
line are you taking, brother?
Yeah,
I can tell you, I actually went out with Jared.
Uh-huh.
We hit the Twin Mountains Off-Road Park,
Okay.
and
Are you a red line feller? Or are you a yellow line?
J-Rod's a savage. He's not afraid to throw his car over some rocks, and I will not be following him on this trip, as I
Okay.
found out. The red stuff is going to be a little challenging. I like my vehicle.
I was gonna say.
I actually dented my door on
Yeah.
this last one. First time I really hurt my vehicle.
and you're like,
so-
I don't want to do that again.
yeah, no, I just had the dent pulled on that. Shout out to Bood for taking care of that. But
You want an adventure, but you want your vehicle to not be
I
too
want
messed up.
I don't want to be on a pile of rocks and be like, oh crap, I blew a CV axle and now I have to take care of this because
it's part of the adventure.
it is. But like, if I'm breaking a CV
Risk
axle, I
management.
want to be able
I'm
to
with
get it
you,
somewhere
Matt.
flat. So
No, he's risk management. He wants
Risk
to have
management,
fun, but he
yeah.
knows he's not going to go put himself in a situation destined for
I don't
failure.
want to be crying on a trail.
I don't
want
wanna
to
be-
CV axle.
So you said that's 3 parks in 2 days, or is it
3 parks, 3 days.
3 parks, 3 days?
Yes,
And we're
sir.
going to 4
What-
tracks
what-
5 days.
What
same time.
area of the country is that in?
Oklahoma. So like, I'll be anywhere like close to Tulsa to south of OKC.
I didn't even know Oklahoma had off-road stuff. No offense to the folks in Oklahoma. Beautiful state
Yeah.
sometimes. But
Sometimes
it's very
Turner
flat,
Falls.
and there isn't a
Yeah.
lot there. Turner Falls.
Turner Falls, that's a good spot.
Turner
Right,
Falls.
right.
I mean, come on.
They have sand dunes out there too. They have a whole sand
I
dune
have
state
no
park.
doubt they have sand dunes.
They did.
I just didn't know they had
little,
off-road.
What do they call it? Little Sahara, I believe. Yep. But
Okay.
It's a super fun
there's
spot.
quite a few off-road parks there, and I would have never guessed that until I got my Lexus and started going down there. And I kind of hit up my friends like J-Rod and Sean. I'm like, let's do some off-roading, and they're like, where do you want to go? I'm like, here, and there's always like some cool trail.
So for like the top level off-road guys, like
Yeah.
doing this, do they have to, like, is there a prep list for things you have to go between off-roading and street driving?
Well, for sure. A lot of these guys air their tires down to help get over rocks and obstacles. It helps your car ride smoother, gives you a little more traction on the tires. But if you're going to be driving at speeds, you're going to want to fill up your tires. I don't know how like challenging or crazy these guys are trying to get, but I guess you could swap tires to like something like
The gearing works out. They don't have to go through.
I
Because you have range selection for that
don't
kind of
know
stuff,
if
right?
anybody's really gonna like be swapping gears or anything.
You just
like
got high and low.
that. Uh-huh.
I don't know a whole ton about off-road.
Yeah, I can tell you my car will be in high gear when I'm going down the highway, and
Yeah.
probably low gear for some of the more challenging stuff.
I need to do a ride along on these sometime.
Let's do it, man.
I can see this being a thing where I would want to go on the easy path with my vehicle, and then I'd want to be, if there was a spectator section for the like go break stuff route, I'd want to watch that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'd want to ride in this one and then drive this one and then ride it with someone else that breaks their stuff in this one.
And Matt, they let you take whatever, like side by sides and trucks, and
So funny enough, one of my friends, Pico, is renting mules.
there you go.
And
So
he's going to be doing the parks on mules. He will be putting them in a trailer
Like
and
the
taking
animal?
them, like the
Like
animal.
the animal.
Okay.
So,
And so
he's
he'll
gonna
be-
ride one and then have a couple that take all of his stuff everywhere.
Yeah. So
Well, you
there's
can't
this
blow an
guy.
axle on that.
No, you can't.
I was almost going to say as long as it has wheels, but
I'm
you
sure
don't
he
even
won't
need
be-
that.
I'm sure he won't be doing a motor swap on a mule.
Can you hang on real quick? Can you imagine being a guy like broke down, you busted your
And a
door,
mule
up,
walks
and a
by
mule just dude with
slowly.
a couple mules just walks right by.
Like, how's
ya?
it going? Like, not good. See ya.
well, you'll have to let me know how it goes because I got an adventure motorcycle and I want to go next year. If you think that it would be cool for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, that'd be fun to do. Like, I'll let you know how the yellow goes. I bet you could do it on the
Okay,
green.
cool.
I've seen you in Colorado, like just
Yeah,
ramp
you
that
know
thing
what
up
I
all
can
kinds
do.
of stuff.
But that was I can't do too much more than that. So
No.
No jumps.
I think we're planning
Or a
on
little
making a
jump.
video of some sort from that.
cool. And while you guys are doing that, us three are going to be at Six Summer.
Yeah, you guys are doing an off-road and drive, and we're doing a drag and drive.
Yep.
Right
Sir.
after, so right after, I think the day before you guys get done with that, we are starting things off with Six Summer. Can you pull up the list of the schedule? I just want to know what tracks we're going to. I think we start and finish in Byron. So we got a day 0, day 1 in Byron, and then I can't remember all the places we go.
And Fred wasn't there last year.
I was not
Did
at
we?
Six Summer last year.
Hopefully they have the Field of Dreams as a checkpoint so we can play catch again.
Oh God, that was like probably my favorite part.
Yeah, we got to play baseball catch.
Got some ice cream.
This will be
too.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
first time
All right.
coming along a drag and drive.
Kicking
so.
Oh,
Oh,
this is
really?
your first time?
Oh yeah.
There's so many times this year where it's like, oh, Reese will just know where to go, and he's like, hey, where do I? Oh, that's
What are
right,
we
you're
doing?
new. I probably forget. You're
He
just,
he came in with so much like knowledge and fits right in.
It's
So
like
it's
he-
like he's been
That's
here.
about as much as I could get from the outside looking in.
yeah, it's like he watched our videos and took notes on how he thinks we do stuff, and then when we do stuff, he's not far off. So it's a really good ad there. But so we kick things off. Oh, Mr. Sam's birthday bash for day 0.
Nice.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna have
Byron's a cool track.
I'm gonna have a drink with. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have a shot with Mr. Sam.
I heard there's
Do it.
t-shirts. So
Have
we
one
might
for
have
me
to
too,
get there.
okay?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
first 500 people that get there get a Mr. Sam T-shirt, right, Fred?
Yeah, I'm. If I don't get one,
We're getting.
I'm
We're gonna be in
punching-
early
I'm
that
punching
day.
a kid for one of those. If I have to.
Holy moly!
And then Monday we kick off day 1 in Byron again. Then we move to Great Lakes. We've been to Great Lakes 1,000 times. Then Cordova, Tri-State Raceway, and back to Byron on day 5. Now, what I'm excited most about, not most, but one of the things I'm excited about for it is the $5,000 car challenge. What was the Cletus's deal? $7,000 car challenge?
I don't know the limit this time,
But they upped the limit. They put cages in those cars. But
Mhm.
the cheap
idea.
car challenge that he did at
Yeah.
Sick Week is now being brought to Six Summer with the same vehicles. And I think we'll probably, I don't know if he's opening it to a class. but
you'll
we might-
lumberjack.
Yeah, he's bringing lumberjack, but I don't know if they're opening up to like more cars to bring,
That'd be cool.
like for other people to bring budget cars, or if it's just them again. But either way, that was my funnest thing. He has so many good race cars, so we've seen so many different drag and drives. This was the most fun I've had watching them race.
I wonder if
honestly.
Tom Bailey will bring his big boy car or if he'll participate in the cheap car challenge.
Doesn't he have a Camaro that he got for that challenge?
Yeah,
Is it
last
good?
year his big boy car broke, and so he hopped into the cheap car challenge. And I wonder if he'll just start out with that this time.
So I feel like Tom just has he's cursed on his own events. He'll make an entire drag week 0 issues, or not 0 issues, but he'll make but then have we seen him get out of day 1?
No.
I don't know.
Not
On
in the
sick week,
Camaro.
At sick week or sick summer, have we seen it in the Camaro anyway?
I don't think so.
It's
don't
such
remember.
a wild thing because it's like the baddest drag and drive car
Well,
on
'cause
the
I
planet.
remember on the sick week that just happened, I was at the first stop at Leadfoot. And I was waiting all night for that car to come in, and
dang.
it never showed up. I'm
No,
like, man, something
That
happened.
sucks. That sucks.
Brett LaSala rolled in at like 2:30 in the morning. Didn't even
Jeez.
he pulled the intercooler out because a cooling fan died. So he just disconnected the front end so the radiator could get more air. So he just showed in the front of the motor, just basically past throttle body, was just open on the street.
That, I mean, the day 1 of sick week this year was tough for everybody because it was it weather, and then everybody only got the 1 hit. So if you messed up your 1 hit, you were basically
Oh
done.
yeah, rain the testing day.
Yeah, so that kind of screwed Tom on getting a good pass, and I think he had to turn in like a 22 or whatever, or a 20. So he was just not going to do anything after that. But yeah, every time I just want to see that car compete and do well, because the last time we saw it do something really cool was 2019.
I think that was drag week, wasn't it?
2019 drag week when you did the first 5.
Yeah.
That was freaking cool.
That was insane. Wasn't that on the last day?
And Atlanta.
last day, and it was Atlanta.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
Because I remember
It was for sure.
Dom, he got a picture of Tom coming back with like his hand out the window and the boards in the back because they like kept him lit,
Oh,
and it was just like, dang,
that's
that was a
cool.
good photo.
that's
I was
cool.
like, dang, I
missed
didn't get
that
that.
track.
So yeah, we don't know if he's gonna bring 2.0 or if he's gonna bring something else to play with, or maybe that 3rd gen. Don't know, but I'm excited to go to 6 summer. Been itching for another drag and drive, and then as soon as that's done, I'll be good for a couple months. Then we can go to drag week, and I'll be.
I'm
good.
excited. It's the drag week's gonna be the 20th year anniversary. Kyle was at the very first one ever.
Oh, that's right.
In 2006, I believe was the first year for drag. 2005 or 6 was the first year
Yeah.
for drag week.
2005, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, 20 years of drag and drive. That's wild, honestly. And
20 years.
And it's gotten just so popular in the past 5 or so years. Basically since COVID. Everybody's like, we don't want to.
Yeah, for the first 15 years, there was what, like 2 to 4 events. Now there's 28, 30.
Or 30 or
nuts,
30
right?
drag and drives throughout the country all year.
Yeah, you could literally pick like a certain region in the country, and there's a drag and drive there.
Pretty much. Well, I think that's going to go and do it for this episode of Talkin Shift. Thank you guys for checking in. Again, this is Fred, Matt, Reese, and Whitty. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
Say bye, guys.
Later.